Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Two of Us podcast. Today, we are
Yeah.
recording footage of AVGN, the video game, and intersplicing footage of Sonic into it.
hmm
Uh, I am Chris, and this is Juan the John Don.
Hey. Hello, everyone. I'm I'm here.
That
Yeah.
pretty much describes my whole week. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, man. It's crazy.
It's been a long one.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about childhood.
Yeah.
Since it's something to talk about. We're
hmm
going to talk about our personal history with video games and sit back, enjoy, have a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
and go ahead and listen in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man.
we're going to start with you, actually.
Mm.
What was your first video game? Do you remember it at all?
Yeah. My first video game. Let me think. Let me think back to 9-year-old
Yeah.
version of me with very short hair. Um. Let me see. Okay, the first video game that I played was Mortal Kombat. Like the very
Really?
first one. Yeah.
What? That game is
Yeah.
so violent, though.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what's funny about it. That was literally my first game I ever played. Mortal Kombat.
What? That's
Yeah,
so
man.
weird. What the fuck?
Yeah. I used to think like the blood in that game was like this was just food coloring. I was like,
Oh,
"Wait."
jeez.
Yeah. It was a very funny time. Like for me at least. I never took any of it seriously though. I just was like, "All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is blood or what." I
Yeah.
don't even think I knew what blood was at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was just like, oh, cool effects on the screen, man. Because I could not do a fatality in there anyway. So I was just kind of stuck doing uppercuts.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, the first game I ever had experience with was at,
hmm
like, my local church.
hmm
Um, it was when I was, like, 5.
Yeah.
And, I believe it was Donkey Kong Country 1,
Oh
right?
wow. hmm
Way back in the day on the Super Nintendo, right?
hmm
Because the church had bummed off a Super Nintendo. I didn't actually play video games until we got a Sega Genesis from a dumpster
Oh
way
wow.
back in the day.
Huh.
Uh, and we
That's
got 3 games with it.
hmm
That was my 3 games. Sonic
Yeah.
the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and a playing game that didn't work.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So I still
Hell.
haven't experienced it to this day.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Sorry.
should. Maybe I should go back and experience it, but
Yeah.
I don't
You. I
know.
mean, if you really want to, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
it was it's good console.
it is. The Sega Genesis
Excuse
is
me.
something I appreciated a lot more as I grew up.
hmm
Cause when starting out,
hmm
uh, you just accept things as reality and such. Cause it
Yeah.
like video games have always been sort of an escape from uh horrors of life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. It's just somewhere where you can go and not really have to worry
Worry
about
about
stuff
anything.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you, my man.
But like uh what like what games did you start playing as a kid?
Well, of course, the first one was Mortal Kombat. But the crazy thing is, I actually got bored of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
How
Where
old were
everyone,
you?
I was 9. I was literally 9 and I was playing this, and I don't know why. I guess maybe I just wasn't a fighting, you know,
Yeah.
uh, arcade guy.
Yeah.
I was just more of like I was more story driven, but I didn't know those really existed because just for everyone to have context, I had a plug-in, like a like I had to
Plug and
plug it
play.
into the
Do you
TV.
remember which one it
There you go.
was?
Well, they all had their own sort of themes, and one was just Mortal Kombat theme.
Hmm.
Uh, the other ones, I had a lot of Star Wars ones. I'll tell you that much. I think I
Those
had
were
like,
cool. Those were cool.
yeah, I had a lot of the Star Wars ones, and then my uncle he had the what was it? He had the Namco ones. So,
Namco Museum.
yeah, yeah, he had pretty much all that. So I would pretty much just play the Star Wars ones, and then pretty much just Pac-Man. That
Nice,
pretty much be it.
nice.
Yeah. What about you, my man?
I grew up with consoles
Mhm.
mostly, cause
Mhm.
like I had a Sega Genesis that we lost in a move,
Mhm.
cause we moved out of an incredibly shitty place and
Yeah.
into my grandma's house, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And we eventually, my mom was against video games because
Mhm.
that's just something she saw things like Doom and
Yeah.
probably things like Mortal Kombat, and it's just like, no, 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 no. She
Mhm.
didn't realize video games could be something more.
Yeah.
And, so I had to, like, emulate video games on an old Windows XP machine, like Sonic Adventure,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
But we eventually got an original Xbox, and we got 3 games with it, but we
Mhm.
gradually, like, got more.
Yeah.
My brother got Halo 2. I got Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge,
Mhm.
and my sister got Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I chose Nightmare Before Christmas wasn't the reason you might think,
Mhm.
because I wanted to pick Sonic Heroes, because I was a Sonic fan at that point. I
Yeah.
opened up the game case and
Mhm.
no game was in there. It was at a GameStop, and I opened up the game
Oh.
case. No game was in there. I'm like, oh, they must be selling the case. That's why I picked up Nightmare Before Christmas and bought that one.
Yeah. No, I had like an incident like that too, like a while back when I was younger. But good thing at my GameStop, they were all pretty cool, like the
Yeah.
cashiers and stuff. They knew what they're doing. Um, like literally, um, oh well, going back to the subject about like parents, like having a
Hmm.
console as a kid. The crazy thing is, my mom was actually the one that told my dad like, the consoles. I mean, they're not too crazy big. They're not a big deal like on impacting a kid's life.
Yeah.
Um, and my father was the actual one that was against the whole like video game stuff, which is
Oh.
kind of funny. It's kind of ironic because you would normally think it's the other way around,
Yeah.
But but yeah, my dad does, even to this day, he doesn't like me playing games too often.
Really?
But yeah, but he knows like it's, if
Sort
I
of a
like
way
it,
of
then
relieving
it's good.
stress, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I mean, I mostly play it just so I can enjoy the story, and then probably get a reaction out of it.
Hmm.
Like make me feel pretty
Something.
good in the game.
Yeah, I get you. I get you, bro.
Yeah, but
So.
mhm,
Oh, go
continue.
on.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna tie it into the next topic. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Where you're going with?
So Uh, my original Xbox, I have a lot of
Hmm.
memories with that thing. It crept
Yeah.
out on me too. It
Hmm.
got the red ring.
Oh
This
yeah.
is like the original Xbox, not the
Yeah.
360 or anything. It was rare for
Hmm.
the original Xboxes to do that.
Yeah, it really
It got
was.
the red ring, and we're
Hmm.
like, oh no, we can't play games anymore. So we went a third of a year without games.
Oh
And
yeah.
the last gift my mom gave to me before she died
Hmm.
was the Xbox 360.
Hmm.
And I still have that same one. It works great.
Hmm.
We had a choice of getting an original Xbox back again, getting a
Hmm.
PlayStation 3, or getting an Xbox 360. And we
Yeah.
chose the 360.
Hmm.
I guess I didn't go into We had a choice of the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2 at one point. We chose
Hmm.
the original Xbox because of Halo.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that
And
because I think it was just on that one, right?
yeah,
It was just on the Xbox, like
yeah.
the original Xbox.
The thing is, I now think the PlayStation 2 is a slightly better console,
Hmm.
but I am glad I got the original Xbox instead
Hmm.
cuz I wound up enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah.
But I recently rebought my original Xbox and I started building up my collection of it.
Hmm.
And it's very cool to like play games from that past that I had.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
But
like
with the 360, my game horizons were really broad because like I
hmm.
started playing RPGs and older games because the Xbox Live Arcade thing,
Yeah.
and like it was really fun to do this stuff, you know?
Hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
experienced a lot of retro stuff back in the day as well.
Hmm.
Cuz like I started to get like PCs growing up, like shitty laptops that were provided by my parents.
Yeah.
And these are like garbage like $100 laptops we buy from the pawn shop.
Hmm.
They work like a dream. I experienced
Hmm.
a lot of retro stuff through that, so like Game Boy Advance
Hmm.
and such, and I wound up getting an original Game Boy Advance. So, like,
Oh,
I
that's
have a
cool.
lot of those cartridges legitimately now, because
Yeah.
emulation was the solution for me. It's the way I could experience most games.
Hmm.
And I. That's kind of why I'm like a PC person now, because I always grew up with PC.
Hmm.
That's kind of why.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, for the like my first ever console, I think I got when I was like 12. I think I was 12. Uh, it was the PlayStation 2, and surprisingly, my dad actually got that for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He got me like a couple games with it. Um, I mean, they were pretty good, but I don't really remember their titles or anything.
Yeah.
But I just knew one was sort of like a beat 'em up racing game, and
Oh.
the other one was I think a pirate game. I think it was a pirate game.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, but they were both good games, and then I always grew up with consoles, so I never really knew anything about PCs or how they worked, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So my solution was just always just to get a console, but not like right when it comes out, you know.
Yeah,
Because to me, like when it comes out, there's not really anything for it, you
yeah.
know.
You get it a year or two after launch.
Hmm. Yeah, so I can play the games or and then probably get more, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I did know a lot about consoles though when
Okay.
I was younger because of the console that I had, and and then when I first got it, um, my uncle told me. I think that's what made me and my uncle bond more because he had the PlayStation One, but he just never told me. So I was just sort of like, I get the PlayStation Two, and he was like, "Oh, cool." And then we kind of shared it, to be honest,
Yeah.
because uh, I would go to GameStop, and then he would give me a list of what games like to get for him, and yeah, but he gave me the money, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
because yeah, he couldn't really go in there, but he gave me literally a list and my mom a list, so it doesn't seem sketchy.
Oh.
And he had a lot of good games, like a lot of good games. And then since GameStop, they used to have like this, like for trade-ins, right, or
Yeah.
pre-owned. They would have like this sort of what was it, like their own design cover on it, right? And it
Yeah.
wasn't the game's cover art. So my uncle, he would go on his computer, which, talking to everyone out there, this is like slow, AOL era,
Yeah.
you know. Like it took time for him to print just one picture. So he printed out like the game's cover, and then he would put it on the game and take out the GameStop one. So it would be kind of cool that way. Of course, it'd be like a normal sheet of paper,
Yeah.
but it was still pretty dope, to think about it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
hmm Yeah, it was just so cool. Like he taught me how to just pretty much adapt, like with what we had. So like, if you buy pre-owned, you can always like change the case and all that.
Yeah.
If it's not a good case, just get another one, or um, pretty much just customize it any
Yeah.
way you want.
Yeah.
And pretty much he taught me how to freaking take care of the discs too. So it was kind of crazy talking to like an 11-year-old or 12-year-old about this stuff.
Yeah.
But it was still cool. I found it always cool, and it still
Yeah,
carries
it
with me
is pretty
today.
damn cool.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I sort of had experiences with the GameStop covers, but I didn't really go to GameStop a lot
Mhm. Yeah.
cuz like until I like got an allowance of like $5 a month, and I'd save
Yeah.
up for months and months on end to get a $60 game that I'd eventually
Mhm.
trade in because it's not worth $60.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
did that
agree.
with a lot of my games,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
and
I agree.
man, I wish I hadn't a lot of the time,
Mhm.
cause like a lot of them I just got pennies for,
Mhm.
like it was not worth it.
Yeah. No, like I agree, man. Um uh talking about that subject, the only reason like I bring out like my GameStop a lot,
Yeah,
like the one that I went to, because the employee there, he played games. Like most of the people at my GameStop, they play a lot of games, especially for the time, which was kind of crazy, because there wasn't that many crazy games out there, you know.
yeah,
And one of the best advice, like one cashier told me, um, he told me, or my mom, he told both of us, because we were sort of, we were frequent shoppers.
mhm,
Um, he told us like we have a 7-day return, right? Or and then my mom was like, yeah. And then he continues talking to her, and he's like, well, if I mean you don't have to fully return it, but you can bring it back after 7 days when you finish it, or if you don't like it,
mhm.
and then you could just swap it for a different game.
Huh.
So that was sort of like what I did as a kid.
Well, that's
um
cool.
yeah, and then he said like if you really like a game, just stick with it.
Yeah,
But if you don't like it, just bring it back in before 7 days, and then just swap it for a different game if you want.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
grow up with that many games.
hmm
Because like we were very very poor.
Yeah.
Um, but the games I did grow up with, I like 100%ed them
hmm
because that was all I had, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you, man.
But
hmm
eventually, we wound up getting a PS3 because of the Blu-ray player, and I
hmm
wound up putting that in the living room.
Yeah.
And then eventually came time to upgrade to 4K stuff. And
hmm
I got a 4K TV for my birthday, and I had saved up from a previous little uh like I mowed lawns, and I had
hmm
about $400,
Yeah.
and I was gonna buy a 4K Blu-ray player, and they said,
hmm
you might as well just get an Xbox One because
hmm
it plays games and does this, and I'm like, okay, fine. I didn't want to go with it,
Yeah.
but I did,
Yeah. hmm
and that turned out to be a good thing, kind of, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I agree. Um,
And
like
eventually,
from.
like I got the 3DS and stuff like that. I got into Nintendo stuff a lot
hmm
because their stuff is easy to emulate for the most part.
Yeah.
And like I currently have a PlayStation 5 and a Switch,
hmm
and I enjoy it for the most part. I
Yeah.
enjoy
Well,
that
that's good.
stuff, but I still have a lot of the retro consoles I love.
Mhm.
So, I ironically went back and experienced a lot of old consoles like the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 1 and everything.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
tried to experience everything under the sun,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed this stuff,
Mhm.
growing up and now. And I keep a lot of it because I love it.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Yeah.
eventually wound up getting a PS4 for Christmas at one point
Mhm. Mhm.
because it was my brother's hand-me-down PS4,
Oh. Okay.
and you know, it was nice. It was pretty
Mhm.
cool,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I miss that joy of opening up a Christmas box. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
really
man.
do that anymore. As you grow older, you don't really do that. Christmas becomes something
Yeah.
entirely different.
Yeah. It's that's the most crazy part. What did you think? You know,
Yeah.
like like for me, Christmas, like the Christmas whole, opening and stuff. I try and keep it there, you know,
Mhm.
but I mostly just sort of do it for mostly other people, like for my sister
Yeah.
and other family members, pretty much.
All
But
all our family, well, we don't really get together for Christmas, our family. We have our own little
mhm,
get-togethers and stuff.
yeah,
And we don't really give gifts to each other
mhm,
except like the people very close to us.
yeah,
Like my roommates and I give each other presents and stuff, and I just throw that shit in a bag because I don't care.
yeah. You don't want to wrap it.
It's a really good, most of the time it's a really good present, but
hmm
I'm not gonna like put effort.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get you. Cause like during that time, it's kind of it's kind of stressful if you think about it.
It is really
Yeah, cause
stressful.
like you gotta like sort of think what the person really likes, and you want it to be freaking awesome, you know.
That's why a
And
lot of people resort to gift cards.
yeah, yeah. My aunt used to do that, like just give me a gift card,
Hmm.
but she sort of changed that because it was sort of. I mean, it's different if it's like sort of 1 year,
Yeah.
like to do gift cards, but like then when it keeps carrying on, it gets kind of boring, you
Hmm.
know. It's kind of like the way I saw it, like when I was younger. The first time she gave me one, I was like, cool, you know.
Yeah.
Second year, pretty alright. The third year, it was kind of like a fu,
Yeah.
to me personally.
I can't
But
think of anything to get you, so I get you this card to buy whatever you want. At that point,
yeah,
just give them cash.
yeah, I know, right? That's what I was like, sort of saying. Just give me cash, you know. It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah. Or a Walmart gift
Um,
card, honestly.
yeah, yeah. To be honest. But like with her stuff, like whatever she gave me, I just kind of it was kind of weird. I always forgot about it.
Yeah.
So like whenever I went to a GameStop this one time with my mom, she was like, "All right, you want a game?" Because we mostly got pre-owned. I never got a new game
Yeah.
like when I was younger. Because the
Yeah.
pre-owns would be like $7, and I'll be like, "Oh heck yeah, I'm taking it. That's a steal, baby."
When you're able to buy dirt cheap stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah,
That's why I
and
collect
that's so
retro
funny.
stuff because it's cheaper.
Mhm.
Like it's a lot
Yeah.
cheaper to collect for the PS2, Wii, and
Mhm.
Wii U stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It really is. And then I think the first game like I actually pre-ordered that was $60 was Alien versus Predator. I think that was it. I think it
Mm,
was
that was a
was it
good
called
one.
Alien versus Predator?
Was it Aliens Colonial Marines?
No, that was the second one, which was kind of sad.
Yeah,
But
that game.
yeah, but I still tried to enjoy it. I mean, cuz
Yeah,
it was a game.
it
For me, I just how I saw it.
it was something.
Yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing was I was really good in the multiplayer as a xenomorph. Kind of funny.
Yeah. And then there was Alien Isolation, which was the best Alien game you could ever ask for.
Yeah, please no spoilers. I still have not played it.
Oh, you haven't played it?
No,
Oh,
I still haven't played, but I know the title. I know what it's about. You know, it's Ripley's daughter, but
it's
um,
terrifying, man.
yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I tried to avoid it like at all costs, like spoilers, even today, and I know it's not even new anymore. It's like literally $8 for everything. I think.
Yeah, like I have the game.
Yeah. No, like I have it, but I just haven't gotten around to play it. That's what's so funny, you
Yeah.
know? Because it's like when you sort of deal with stuff and life circumstances and everything. The games you have is kind of like you gotta debate through them. It's kind of
Mhm.
weird.
Why play this when you can play this? You sort of get
Yeah,
this like
yeah,
death by choice thing.
yeah. It's weird. Like on my PS4, I literally have about, let me see, probably like 100 games on it, like just
Mhm.
on the menu screen, because I have a 4 terabyte.
Yeah.
Um, what is it? Like an external device?
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
hard drive.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have that, and I pretty much have a lot of games on there. And
Yeah.
I see literally rows of games, and then it's so funny because it's like looking through like a movie shelf. Because like when you look at a movie shelf, you're like, huh, what do I feel like watching today? You see Aliens, I don't feel like watching that today. You see a comedy, maybe, you know, and then you see like a Rambo action-packed game. I mean, movie, and you're like, I think that's what I'm feeling tonight.
And then you just never get around to the other ones.
Yeah, yeah, you never do. Which
S-
that's something I need to work on though,
So,
because
what is the rarest game you own, you think?
let me think.
Because
Um,
my rarest game I own is either they're both by Konami.
yeah,
It's Silent Hill 2 for the original Xbox and Metal
hmm
Gear Solid 2 for the original Xbox.
hmm
Because I have the PlayStation 3 of Metal Gear Solid 2, or the PlayStation 2 of Metal Gear Solid 2, but
yeah,
the Xbox version is supposedly not cheap.
yeah. No, I get you.
But that's probably the rarest game I have.
Hmm. Huh. Let me think. It's kind of difficult because I still have all of my uncle's collection of games. Oh
Yeah,
wait, I got it. Um, I'm gonna just say one of my uncles and one of mine.
yeah,
Because it's kind of two different collections because that's his, and then I consider that one still his,
yeah,
and then mine just my own.
yeah.
He had RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
and it was like the actual like it's not like the normal cardboard box either. It's like a I don't know. I would just consider it like a special edition, but it's not.
Yeah.
It just had a cool design to its box. I'll say that. And for me, out of my collection, because my PlayStation ones, I don't remember anything from my PlayStation ones. That's what's insane though.
Hmm.
Because normally when you get your first console, you would think you remember the games.
Yeah.
Um, but I just really don't. But for the 360, I would say literally Hellboy. Hellboy,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I think I have that one too. I
yeah.
have it for the PlayStation 3
Oh wow,
instead of the Xbox 360.
yeah. Because I don't know, man. Like when I saw every time I went to the GameStop that I went to,
It was
I still
uber
remember.
expensive.
Yeah, and it still stayed pretty high,
Yeah.
and no one really bought it, and it was still in the same place until like one day I did really good in school, and then my mom's like, "Hey, you want to go to GameStop?" I'm like, "Yes,
Oh,
yes, please."
yes.
Yeah,
Try to keep a low
and
profile about it.
yeah, because like if I get too excited, I'm gonna be like, "What's up?"
You know
you
you're
know?
getting something.
Yeah, yeah. So I just was like, "Yeah, we'll go." Okay, so we just go there. I go inside, smell that that gamer air, the nice air. But it's just normal air, to be honest, folks.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Well, it's
We don't have a
it's
scent.
full with a bunch of people that don't shower because they
Oh
play
my
video
god.
games.
Well, mine was empty. So at this perfect time, it was empty. No one was in there.
So what you're smelling
So
is deodorant at this point.
yes, I'm smelling the deodorant, that Old Spice. But anyway, so I go in there, go to the 360 section. Apparently, they always move it for some reason. They always move them. That's what always sort of gets me annoyed sometimes. Because
Yeah.
I'm so used to going to one spot and then it's not there, and I'm like, okay, where is it?
Where
So,
are you?
yeah, it feels like a library sometimes. So then, when I go in there, go to the corner of the store, apparently that's where they moved it. Um, I look literally through the whole Xbox 360 games, and I was like, oh my god, please don't tell me it's gone. Don't tell me. And then I was like, okay, well, presenting, like they have them some presented,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then some like in rows, like a movie shelf. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna check the row, through alphabetical order. I go through it, I still don't see it, and I'm like, oh my god, where can this freaking game be? And then I literally move one of the faces of one of these games. I don't remember the face of the game, but I just move it, and then right behind it, I see Hellboy,
Very
and I'm like, oh
nice.
my god, I'm taking that. I'm not taking any chances. I'm like, this is it. Someone has moved this game and is interested, and I need to get this now.
Yeah.
So literally, I go over to my mom and I'm like, "Hey, mom, can I get this? Can I get Hellboy?" And she's like, how'd you do in school?" And I was like, "I did pretty good, I think." And then she's like, "Give me your report card," and because I was holding my binder,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Give me your report card," and I'm like, "Okay, here you go." And keep in mind, I didn't look at this. I did not look at my report card
Yeah.
because my teacher from my school before I moved to a different school, they would just hand it to us like at the end of class. Like when school was done, they would just give it to us. They would just say our name and we'll just go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be all folded up. I just put it in my binder. I'm like, okay, I'll just see it when I get home. And then she asked for it, and then she looks at it and she's like, "You did pretty good." And I was like, "What?" And then she's like, "Yeah, you did pretty excellent in school. You got a B."
Did you ever
That's
check your grades online?
no, not at this time, because like during that time it was more paper. It was all paper.
Yeah.
But like when I got into like a different school in the 5th grade and stuff like that, when they introduced that,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I always checked it.
I always
You
have
know.
dreams about me checking my grades and being too scared to check my grades.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's
It's crazy,
crazy.
but anyway, let me finish wrapping this one
Oh,
up,
sorry
and
for that.
then no, it's cool, man. So yeah, pretty much just give it to her. She looks at it. She's like, "Okay, we can get it. We'll get it." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is it. This is the big moment. It's gonna be the best moment of my life." I get it. The cashier is like, "All right, hey, you want this?" And I was like, "Yep." And she tells him, uh, like protocol, GameStop employees stuff, pretty much about, this is rated. I think it was rated teen or M. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But I'm just gonna say it was M because it's just what vaguely comes to my head. I'm pretty sure it was teen. But he's like, he has to be a certain age to
It's
enjoy it
teen.
and stuff like that. And then my mom's like, "Trust me, I know my son." So
He played Mortal Kombat as his first game.
yeah. And the funny thing was, like, she got it, get it out, we get out, and it's new, like it's brand new. Like the Xbox 360 tape that they have, like
Mm-hmm.
how it was never opened. Like
Yeah.
it's a seal. Yeah, so that seal was on there, and I made sure to get that one because there's some other ones that were unsealed, and I was like, no, that's not the one I numbered.
Yeah.
And I found the new one, and I was like, oh my god, all right. And then I'm in the car, I open it, and I'm like, oh my god, I have Hellboy.
Nice.
It was one of the best moments. And then I just went home and started playing it. Still liked it because I was a huge fan of Hellboy as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best films for me as a kid. And Accidental.
Yeah.
If you want me to elaborate more on that one.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, well, I remember I just woke up like on a Saturday and I was gonna watch cartoons pretty much, on normal TV. And no one was at my house, so I was like, all right, I'll just watch whatever. My mom comes home and she's like, hey, I saw this movie. Just it looked kind of cool, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Hands me the film Hellboy, and I didn't even know it either. That's what was so surprising. This was like pre-era for me about movies
Yeah,
and video
yeah.
games. So she just hands me this movie, and I'm like, well, it looks kind of cool. I'll give it a shot. I watch it one day, changes my life.
So my story with Hellboy is a little
Hmm.
simpler than that.
Yeah.
Uh, so we wound up sharing a cable program with our neighbors, and
Hmm.
they had HBO at one point as like a free
Oh.
weekend, and Hellboy 2: The Golden Army came on, and I'm like,
Oh.
sure, I'll give it a shot. I fell in
Yeah.
love with the series. It's still one of my favorite movies today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Same here, man.
I wound up going down the rabbit hole a little bit, and I have
Hmm.
right now almost all the Hellboy comics that's from the Dark Horse library.
Yeah. That was like the one thing I could never really find when I was younger.
I just
I could
found them on
never.
eBay, bud.
Yeah, I know. Like even then, because like I didn't have a computer at the time either. It was just
uh,
more. I was more just like paper.
yeah,
Paper. Like I see it on paper, cool. But I knew computers were around. You know. But I think that's how my uncle was more resourceful, like with video games and stuff.
yeah.
But that
Man,
was
the
always in
internet
his room.
has really changed things for the better when it comes to
Yeah.
buying stuff.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's been pretty much since the early 2000s. I still remember how things looked. You
Hmm.
know, even phones. Like, I still remember my very first phone, and oh my god, it was like the first touchscreen too, and I remember it.
My very
Um,
first phone was a slider phone where
mhm.
you type it with the keyboard.
Oh my god, yeah, my sister had one of those. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like the screen's on top, right? And then you
Yeah.
just slide it. You slide it up
Yeah.
or whatever
No, slide
direction.
it to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those. Oh
But
my god.
I wound up at that point. Um, I got that was my sister's phone. The first phone
Yeah.
I got was a um. It was a really old LG phone,
Mhm.
and they don't even make the line anymore.
Yeah.
So I wound up like I wound up obsessing over the battery
Mhm.
because like I would not let it go below 90% in the morning, and I'd turn it off during
Yeah.
school.
Mhm.
And like there were people who try to steal it and shit,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't let them. So like I'd hide
Yeah.
it in my freaking pocket.
Yeah. Like I remember it too. I think I remember it.
Hmm.
Was it the big one?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it
I remember
was.
it. I remember it too because it would sometimes stick out of your pocket, and
Yeah.
I would see it there, and I'd be like, "Wow, that's a pretty cool phone." Like it looked good to be honest, and you
Yeah.
took really good care of it.
Yeah,
Cause
I
like,
did. I
cause I
took
remember. Yeah, no, continue. Sorry.
I took really good care of most of my phones,
Uh huh.
including the ones I have now, which,
Hmm.
the ones have now, all I have to do is pay for the service on it now,
Yeah.
thankfully,
Hmm.
cuz I had enough foresight to use my job payments ahead of
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So I wound up paying off the whole phone and the taxes and stuff.
Hmm.
So now I'm just paying for the service.
Yeah, isn't that like one of the best things though? Like
Yeah.
when you actually finish paying for a phone and then you're just left with just, the service.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because mine like oh well, hang on. First let me recap real quick. But my like the first phone I had wasn't my phone. It
Mhm.
was actually my sister's phone. She lent it down to me, the first touchscreen. Um did not care about it. Like at all. But I never broke it. That was what was so funny, because my sister she got like an upgraded phone, which was the flip. Like you flip
Yeah.
the screen up and you type. Um, and she broke hers or had problems with hers all the time. And then for me, like I remember this one time, one of my friends came up to me by my locker, and he was like, "Hey man, can I borrow your phone? Because I don't have one." And I was like, "All right, go ahead." Lend it to him for like 2 class periods. He comes back, and I knew to trust him. You know, he was a
Yeah.
good guy. I don't just lend it to anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I lent it to him. It's like, here, man, just do whatever you want with it. He comes back. He's like, all right, man, thanks. And like, literally, still not broken.
Oh wow.
Nothing happened to it. I stuck with that phone for 3 years.
Nice.
That's Yeah, and that's how long. And then, like, even with this one, I think it carried on because now with the no, it wasn't. It was here. Let me type his name. I don't know if you know him, but hang on. It's pronounced like
Oh,
E.
him! I know that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
Way back
glasses,
in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, yeah. Him. Yeah, I lent it to him because he didn't have one. And I was like, alright, go ahead, man. I'm not using it.
Yeah.
So yeah. He enjoyed it though. I was glad I made his day. But yeah, he took care of my stuff. And I knew
Yeah.
I could trust him. And yeah, like with that phone, it was so insane. Cause like when I took it to get a newer one, to upgrade it,
Yeah.
they're like, what is this? And I was like, my mom's like, it's the phone you guys gave me. And then they're like, you do know what time it is, right? Like what decade? And then she's like, yeah, of course. And then the funny thing was, we took it all casually. We looked like probably to them like the 1940s, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like, yeah, we could trade it in. I get a good phone. Still kept with it for like, and the funny thing is, it like increases every time I get a new
Yeah.
phone. Cause like with the next phone that I got, lasted me 5 years.
Ah.
Never once broke it, nothing wrong with it. And then now this one is already on my 4th year with this phone that I have.
So, like, when I get. The thing is, with my
Mhm.
phones, they last me about 2 years now.
Mhm.
Because, um, I get a free upgrade after 2 years, or at least that's the way it worked
Yeah.
on my old service.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, new phone this year.
Yeah. No, like
And
I get you, man. Mhm.
like I go for the deals because I once got like 4 JBL speakers for
Mhm.
free because they offered like a promotional deal
Yeah,
for
man.
to get rid of
Mhm.
the phone program. So I'm like, I gave half of my friends like Bluetooth speakers, and you were
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, and it's still working like a charm today, and it's still
Yeah,
clean.
those
Like,
speakers are amazing.
yeah, man, one of the best. I was like,
Yeah.
when I heard you're giving me a speaker, I was like, is this a joke? Am I getting pranked here?
And then I wind up giving you an Xbox One like 5 years later.
Yeah, this was crazy, man. But still,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Like, seriously, I still use it,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I treat it excellent. Like, even though I gotta like, I gotta talk to my PlayStation and be like, hey, you gotta treat the Xbox One with respect.
Yeah.
And then I gotta have a talk with the Xbox One as well. And gotta be like, hey, you gotta become friends with the PlayStation, because if not, I can't have a war between you guys right now. You know. But
But
yeah, man.
like legitimately, the thing is, I got a spare Xbox One for free
Hmm.
cuz um it
Excuse me.
my friend was like selling them and he's just like, "I'll give it to you for free. I'm trying to get rid of it." Cuz he was
Yeah.
moving places.
Mhm.
Like he was moving across like the state. Or no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. He was moving like to Canada, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
So it's
Mhm.
just like I can't take it with me,
Yeah, because the whole custom stuff.
so I have an Xbox One now that isn't in the living room, and you know, I use it as a
Mhm.
4K player half the time.
Yeah, that's what's kind of funny though. That's what's funny. Like when you don't have a game to play now, you could literally just put a movie in if you wanted
Yeah,
to. And then I remember like I think at the like 360 and the PlayStation 2, like people did not know you could do that.
yeah,
Yeah, like they thought they needed like a, like the what
like a
is it? Like
Blu-ray
a
player specifically for it.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah. The only reason I found out that I could do that was because not only from the people from GameStop, but also my uncle. He was like, "Hey, you want to watch a movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, but let me unplug my PlayStation 2." And he's like, "You don't have to. Just put it in." And I was like, "Okay, I'll listen to you. I hope nothing happens to this." And then we
But
put it in. It works.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because like I found a lot of the current consoles I had from the
Hmm.
thrift store.
Yeah.
I got my
Hmm.
PlayStation 2 for
Hmm.
$10 with 5 games.
Wow, that's a good deal.
$10, and I wound up getting a free controller out of it
Wow.
because I don't know, half off, something like that.
Yes.
And like now, the PlayStation 2 is like one of the biggest libraries I have,
Hmm.
and it's just very funny because now,
Yeah.
like, if you search it on eBay, you will certainly find it like 50 to $100.
Hmm.
And like, this isn't the original PS2 that still works. No, this is the Slim.
Yeah, that's the one that I got too. That I
Yeah.
have. It's literally the Slim. That was my first console, surprisingly.
It's a shame, like, because of inflation,
Hmm.
most of the stuff just isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah,
Like, it
this
just
was
isn't
crazy, man.
practical.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about
So,
it.
what is your favorite video game?
My favorite video game. Let me think.
Because
Uh,
mine's a tie between three of them: Arkham
yeah.
Asylum, Batman
Hmm.
Arkham Asylum, uh,
Hmm.
Doom 2016 slash Doom Eternal,
Hmm.
and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Although Sonic 2 has a special place in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're really a Sonics fan, man.
Yeah, being
But
a
it's not a
Sonic
bad
fan
thing.
is
You
kind
just
of
like
like
them.
it's kind of like being in an abusive relationship. Because,
Yeah. Yeah.
when they get
Yeah.
something right, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. But when they get it wrong, it just hurts you.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, I still remember like the first Sonic game I think I had for me personally, because my sister she had one for the PlayStation 2, and I
Hmm.
know it's in her heart. Her games were literally Sonic Heroes, uh, Beyond Good and Evil, um, and I think that was it between her
Yeah.
like out of her
Beyond Good
stuff.
and Evil was a good game, though.
I know. I always wanted to play it, but my sister's like, "Hey, it's mine," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine."
So your family
But
got
I
possessive over this stuff too, huh?
Yeah, this was crazy, man. Like, no one would have thought, because, like, it was mostly just for me, on my PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And then, so, all of a sudden, later on, it starts carrying over. My sister gets words, she's like, hey, from her ships in her mind, like, she gets the news from, about the Americas.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, how come he gets that? So my mom's like, alright, I gotta make it equal. She buys her some games. Some damn good ones. And then I was just sort of stuck with like the pre-owned. But she had good games, and she let me play them. Like over time, like when we were kids, we weren't too much of good friends.
Mhm.
But then, like as we started getting a little older, and we started knowing we had common interests and stuff, like games or whatever,
Yeah.
she started letting me play them, which was good. So
That's good, man.
still cannot play that game though. But I have played like other ones she had. Oh, another the other one was Sly Cooper. She loved the Sly
Oh,
Cooper
very
series.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and
But
for me,
Sonic
no, go
is
ahead.
just one of these polarizing series now,
Hmm.
unfortunately to me, because
Yeah.
you get amazing stuff like Sonic Mania, and then you get
Hmm.
Sonic 06.
Yeah, man,
Or a
it's
most recent
crazy.
example is Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that game was awful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, man. Oh
a-
gosh.
and you know what the sad thing is? It's
Hmm.
hard for me if I were like making content about video games.
Hmm.
It would be hard for me to make content about bad video games. Because
Yeah.
explaining why something is bad is easier, but it's
Hmm.
not nearly as fun as exclaiming your love for something.
Yeah, because it's like when you play something you're not interested in, like everyone can tell. You know, it for one thing, you're not cracking as many jokes or
Yeah,
really enjoying the environment. You know, and that's kind of like one of the downfalls of some people. You know,
yeah,
like it could be an anticipated game. Like for instance, Elden Ring. I know it's beautiful. You know,
hmm,
it's absolutely beautiful, good gameplay. But to me, I mean, it's just not my type of game. You know,
yeah.
like that's just the same with me with the Dark Souls trilogy too. Like I know stuff about it. You
Well, you're
know,
not a big
excellent games.
fantasy guy in general, right?
Yeah. Well, we're talking. Are we talking about Sonic or just other
No, in
stuff?
general, like we're switching the subject.
Oh, I would say I'm kind of mixed. It just depends on what it is. You know,
Yeah,
like if it's let's say like Sonic is Sega, right?
yeah,
If it just yeah, like if it's like a good Sonic game, like for instance Sonic Heroes, to me I like that game. You know,
yeah.
really good game to play. Um, but like if you sort of go down like into different aspects of Sega,
Hmm.
I'm not kind of crazy about them. You know,
Yeah, I
but I'm
get
just
you.
there. You know, I'm there, but I don't hate them or like them like that. You know.
Yeah,
Mm. But back to like my favorite games because I didn't say
yeah,
mine.
yeah. My bad.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. I just forgot about it. My favorite games when I was younger was Gun. Gun was a good game.
Yeah,
Think,
that game was awesome.
yeah, I really hope they can somewhat bring that back eventually. I know
Yeah,
it probably will never happen, maybe,
you know it's on the
but
PlayStation 4 store, I think.
what?
Yeah, it's on the PlayStation 4. Uh,
Oh my god, I gotta check that out. Because if it's there, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna be a happy camper. Because that was like one of my favorite games as a kid, and that was my uncle's game. But that one was a good one. Um, let me think. Gosh, there's like I just had them too. Um, anyways, we'll come back on it. I'll think more on it. But yeah, but Gun, amazing. Oh, Gungrave. Gungrave was a good one.
yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, Gungrave, and then there was let me think. They're like there. They just don't want to come out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I know that that's not a good analogy, but they just don't want to freaking arrive to the destination. If that makes sense. God, man.
hmm.
Let me think. Let me think. I'm
But
really going in deep.
there
But
were a
anyways.
lot of good
Yeah.
games I grew up with, and there
Mhm.
were a lot of bad games I grew up with that I really liked anyway.
Mhm.
Because, like, at what point do you just accept the game you like is a bad game?
Yeah, I know. You know. Yeah.
Because, like, I like the Crash Bandicoot games, like Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, but I fully recognize it's not a good game.
Yeah, like, yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying. You know, it's
Yeah,
kind of like it has the nostalgia. I think that's what
yeah,
really gives it a kick. You know, and
definitely.
but like if it didn't come out like way before, I don't think it would have thrived crazy. You know,
Yeah,
and today because I still remember playing the original Crash,
yeah,
but I didn't know it was Crash at the time. I just knew my cousin had it.
yeah.
Rip his games though, rip, because he does not. They're just dead, and that's
Oh,
what's so sad sometimes to me. Because it's like he had some really good games. Like he had the
yeah.
original Crash. Loved that game. Literally wanted it off of him. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I borrow it? but but yeah, Crash. Like for me as a kid, it was fun.
Yeah.
Did not like how hard it was though as a
Yeah,
kid.
those games are insanely hard.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit.
hmm That's
What
fine, man. Yeah.
do you think a game that's too hard is not fun, or do you like conquering the challenge?
I think I think I think it just like if it's hard, I'm
Yeah,
not saying like impossibly hard. Like impossible like you can't beat it. But like if it's hard, like let's say uh like Dark Souls or whatever, like their bosses, I think it just brings people together.
yeah,
Cuz it's sort of like I don't know, like there's something about the communities like when you play a certain game.
yeah,
Like if
definitely.
it's very difficult,
Yeah,
um everyone just pitches in their tips, like hey, why don't you try using this weapon, or hey, try using this equipment, and it's just I don't know, I think it's just really community driven,
hmm,
you know. But like if it's incredibly hard and no one, like there's a certain point where it's incredibly hard where no one wants to do it, and then where it's hard but it can be done, you know. Um, I think that's just it's just I don't know. It's just I can't really describe it in words, but I think
So,
that.
for me, when a game
hmm
stops becoming fun, I stop
hmm
playing it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because,
man.
like, there's a point, there goes to a point where you're just like, fuck it, I'm not playing this anymore. I rage quit.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, like I get you. Like that's that's what I meant. Like
Yeah, yeah, I
with
get you, I get you.
yeah, like you just if it's hard on your own and you know you can't beat it, or you just don't want to do it because it's that hard to you.
Hmm.
Of course, you're gonna quit.
Yeah,
That plain and simple. But if you like the aesthetic of the game, like where you're going, and then of course it's hard for you, but you want to overcome it,
yeah,
because you're like, this is it. I gotta be all in. I think that's what drives people to communities for it.
yeah, I get you.
Excuse me.
Hence the AVGN footage we're playing in the background right now.
Yeah,
Because that's one of those games that's very, very hard.
yeah, yeah, man. Because especially I think it's 64-bit.
Yeah,
I think
no, it's 16.
16. Okay, I just want to be sure. Sorry, AVGN.
No,
Hope
you're
you
good,
didn't
you're
hear that.
good.
But yeah. But it is good. It's a good game. Same thing with like Sonic.
Yeah.
They're I think they're always just games like you can always go back to and still love it.
Hmm.
You know, and like some can be hard. Like when you get to the boss levels and stuff.
Hmm.
But I think once you beat the boss, you like feel like you won the lottery. You know.
Yeah, I get you.
So I think that's why some people just continue to keep going and try to beat the boss,
Yeah.
so they can get that adrenaline and be like, "Oh my god, I did it."
Yeah.
Yeah. But like for me personally, when it gets crazy hard, I'm just like, okay, maybe I need to step back and just maybe chill out,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and try and review what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
because like I've been playing, for example, like Cuphead. I
Yeah.
mean, I know it can be done, you know, like the
Yeah.
bosses that can be beaten, but it's just like sometimes your timing is off, or you know, sometimes the environment's not working on your side,
Mhm.
you know, and like it can really, I can understand why people rage quit,
Yeah.
you know. And then for me, like when I play it, I mean, I know it's hard. I did not underestimate this game. Like when I was going in it, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, people are saying it's hard. All right, it's going to be hard, you know.
Yeah.
And like first levels, it was kind of easy for me, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and then once you start going down the rabbit hole, oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah, it really impacts you. But doesn't take away that it's a fun game for me. Because for me, I still find it fun.
Yeah.
It's just difficult at times.
All right.
Yeah.
So, back to what your favorite video game is.
Yeah.
Did you
I
think of
think
an answer?
it is. Let me see. All right. Let me think for the. Oh, Dead to Rights. The Dead to Rights series.
Uh,
I love that game.
I
Played it
have
when I
it, but
was
I
too
haven't
young.
experienced it yet.
Yeah, they're good. Like the first two, really good. I love those games.
Do you
Like
remember the Deep Silver Punisher game?
yeah. Mhm.
Did you ever play that?
Uh I think I did. I think I did. Like if you mention, I think if like I saw a level of it,
Hmm.
I could probably remember it
Yeah.
because I think it was one of my also favorites.
Yeah.
And then same thing with like the first Mafia game.
Yeah.
Like I know the mechanics weren't that great in it,
Well,
but
if it's one of your favorites, it's one of your favorites. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, like I think that's what sort of like whenever when I saw Mafia come out, because that was like one of my uncles before he passed,
Hmm.
uh games on his list, and I was like, all right, let's just get it. I get it, bring it home, and I got it with Punisher, like
Hmm.
together. Surprisingly, I would have never thought. It was the most weirdest double feature, quote unquote, like for me.
Just a happy coincidence that it comes up like 20 years later.
Yeah, I know, man. It was so funny because it was like I went to the GameStop to go get it, and then the guy was like, "Hey, did you just want Mafia or the Punisher with it?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Where did the Punisher come from?" And then it said Mafia on it, and then he was like, "Oh, on the back, turn it over, Punisher." And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Wait,
god.
what?"
It's one of those double packs.
Yeah, man, it was a double pack, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Is it gonna cost me extra though?" And he's like, "No, it's just gonna cost the price that's on the front." And it was like I think it was $10,
Oh, nice.
which was not bad for it, you know. And so yeah, I was like, "All right, just give me a Punisher, give him to me right now." And then he puts them in there because they never put it like actually fully inside, if that makes sense. They used to have these sleeves for discs
Hmm.
when you put it in the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just put both of them in there, and then I just go home and I tell my mom. She's like, "Wow, cool." And I was like, "Yeah, I hope the second game's alright." And I was
Turns out
like,
it's a life-changing experience and one of your favorite games of all time. And you
"Yeah," and it
ironically
is.
think of more than Punisher now.
Yeah, man. Now it is because that's what got me into the Punisher, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
who is this man?" And I remember I was telling my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, cool." You know, she just said, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And yeah, with Mafia, with it, I was like, "Wow, that's kind of ironic," because he's literally killing Mafia people or gangsters or
Yeah.
muggers or whatever, and then just on the back you see a criminal empire rising. um, But yeah, Mafia, one of my best ones. That's what got me into the Mafia series. And then I knew once that game came out, I was like, oh god, this game is gonna really bring a perspective to a whole new level.
Yeah.
you know, because then like right after, like I think when a PlayStation 3 came out, and then Mafia 2 released, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get it, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I get Mafia 2. It was so good to me.
Yeah.
Like when it first came out, I was like, wow. I got to see Sal, literally, spoilers for anyone out there, like the Mafia head boss, which I'm pretty sure people know, you
Yeah.
know? And then I was like, wow, he looks good, for the time. And
Well,
then, yeah, my favorite games. I could talk about them for hours.
well,
But
unfortunately, we are running out of time a little bit.
yeah,
Thank you guys for watching.
yeah, thank you guys.
If
And
you
don't
made it
forget,
through to the end, give it a like.
yeah,
If you liked it, of course.
yeah, and and subscribe button's always welcome for you. You
Yeah,
know,
we always welcome new subscribers. We're hoping to build a community. But
yeah,
hey, if you don't want to be a part of that, that's fine. Just
yeah,
watch and enjoy, you know?
yeah. Just we could just always say it's like ASMR for your people.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Have
Yeah,
yourself a
thank you
great
all.
night. Take
Yeah.
care.
Oh wait, hang on.
Oh, what?
And if you're really interested in our schedule, just uh turn notifications on. We try to upload weekly, you
Yeah.
know, and of course just enjoy it, and then have a great day or night. And
Yeah.
we'll see
Thank you
you.
for watching. If
Yeah,
you made
thank you
it
guys.
to the end, type in Wombo.
Yeah, yeah, man. And hey, if you have any memories, please talk about them in the
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. Bring your
Be
memories and
welcome.
stuff.
Yeah, you're always welcomed. You know, we're like my friend Chris said, we're here to build a community.
Alright.
Somewhere for all of us. All right, I'm of time to wrap it up because I'm starting to linger.
Yeah, you're good.
Um,
You're good.
yeah.
Well, thank you for watching. Have yourself a great night and take care.
Take care, everybody.